All right, 49ers faithful, are you ready to feel the ground shake for the 2025 season? The buzz is electric, and we've got 4 game-changing stories that'll hit you right in the feels. From a bold move to shore up our offensive line to a roster shakeup that's got everyone talking, a superstar's epic comeback, and a hidden gem ready to break out. This is the update you can't miss. So grab a seat, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into the chaos. Which of these stories is going to fire you up the most? Drop it in the comments. Picture this, an offensive line that's the rock-solid foundation of a Super Bowl run. After the gut-wrenching blow of missing the playoffs in 2024, our first absence since 2020, the O-line is the talk of the town. Losing Aaron Banks to the Packers and Jalen Moore to the Chiefs stung like a last-second interception in the red zone. Fans are tearing it up on X. Some are furious we waited until the 7th round to draft Iowa's Connor Colby, practically a footnote in the 2025 NFL Draft. Others are holding out hope for Trent Williams, who's still a beast at 37, even after battling ankle injuries all last season. Jake Brendel, now in his 30s, and second-year guard Dominic Pooney are the anchors. But the lack of a clear backup for Williams or Colton McKivitz has the faithful nervous. What if the 49ers are plotting something bold? Rumors are swirling about blockbuster trades with NFC playoff rivals to bolster the line. Here's the hot gossip. San Francisco could ship a 6th-round pick to the Eagles for Kendall Lamb, a 33-year-old veteran who's now surplus in Philly after they signed Matt Pryor and drafted Miles Hinton. According to Over the Cap, Lamb would cost just $1.25 million in 2025, a low-risk gamble for a guy who could step in if Williams needs to rest those aging legs. Fans on X are going wild. Is Lamb the key to keeping Purdy upright? One posted while another argued, "We're one injury away from disaster. Why not go all in for a stud in the 2026 draft?" This move could be the difference between a wild card exit and a deep playoff run. The O-line's gotta protect Brock Purdy, who's shown he can sling it when given time. Last season, our offense still ranked top 5 in yards without a fully healthy line, but those late-game collapses showed how much we need stability up front. If Lamb delivers, we're talking about a unit that could dominate the trenches and open lanes for our running game. But if he flops, the pressure's on Kyle Shanahan to rethink the strategy. And just when you thought the day couldn't get crazier, the roster took a wild turn that's got everyone buzzing. Just when you think you've seen it all, the 49ers drop a bombshell that's lighting up the faithful. Training camp is in overdrive, with the preseason showdown against the Broncos just days away. And John Lynch is shaking things up like it's 4th and goal. The news hit like a sack on Patrick Mahomes. Cornerback Eli Apple, a 2016 first-round pick by the Giants, got the boot to make room for defensive tackle Michael Dwumfour. Yeah, you heard that right. Apple, who signed in late July to add depth to a banged-up secondary, didn't even make it to September. Fans on X are in a frenzy. Some are calling it a bonehead move, with one tweeting, "Why cut a vet like Apple when our CBs are dropping like flies?" Others saw it coming, pointing out his contract had 0 guaranteed money, making him a clear camp body. So, what's the deal? The defensive line is getting crushed by injuries, and the tackle position is thinner than a goal line stand. Dwumfour, a journeyman who's bounced around the NFL, steps in to plug the gap, especially with joint practices against Denver's physical offense looming. This move screams one thing. The 49ers are all in on pressuring quarterbacks, a cornerstone of their playoff blueprint. Without a strong D-line, teams like the Seahawks or Rams could carve us up. But here's the twist. Apple, while not a lockdown corner, brought experience from stints with the Saints and Chargers. Was cutting him too risky? Fans are split. One X-post read, "Dwumfour better bring the heat or we're toast in the secondary." Another countered, "Lynch knows what he's doing. D-line wins games." The preseason will be Dwumfour's chance to prove he's more than a roster filler. If he can disrupt pockets like he did in spurts with the Texans, this could be a sneaky good move. But if the secondary stumbles, we'll be second-guessing this one all season. And while we're still processing this shakeup, there's a name that's got every 49ers fan's heart pounding. Ever felt that rush when a legend steps back onto the field? The faithful are losing their minds because Christian McCaffrey is back and ready to roll. After a brutal 2024 where injuries limited him to just 4 games, our Stanford superstar is tearing through training camp, saying he feels like $1 million, and he's not alone in the hype. ESPN's Get Up analyst Peter Schrager dropped a bombshell, ranking McCaffrey number 1 on his list of players poised for a monster comeback in 2025, alongside names like Dak Prescott and Aiden Hutchinson. The X timeline is on fire, with fans posting, CMC's gonna run over the entire NFC, and this is our year. They're not wrong. In 2023, McCaffrey was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, piling up over 2,000 scrimmage yards, and since joining mid-2022, he's been the heartbeat of our offense. Without him last year, we still ranked near the top in total offense. But those 4 straight losses to close the season showed how much we missed his spark. The game plan is crystal clear. With Brock Purdy slinging it, a healthy McCaffrey brings balance. Explosive runs that gash defenses and pass-catching skills that leave linebackers in the dust. But here's the million-dollar question. Can his body hold up for 17 games? Schrager's betting big, praising McCaffrey's grueling off-season rehab and prep. Fans are eating it up, with one ex-user declaring, CMC healthy means we're Super Bowl bound. But others are cautious, tweeting, love him, but another injury, and we're cooked. The preseason will be our first look at whether he's truly back to his 2023 form. If he's clicking, our offense could be unstoppable, especially with Kyle Shanahan's play calling. Without him, we're stuck leaning on backups who can't match his versatility. And while we're hyped for CMC's return, there's a young gun ready to turn heads on the other side of the ball. What if a hidden gem becomes the secret weapon in our defense? Kalia Davis, a 6th-round pick in 2022 out of UCF, is staring down the opportunity of a lifetime. Drafted after a torn ACL that wiped out his rookie year, Davis is now healthy and entering his 4th NFL season with something to prove. In 2024, he logged 259 snaps, a huge leap from just 54 in 2023, but he's still a diamond in the rough. With Kevin Givens out and Evan Anderson's injury status murky, the D-line is screaming for help. Fans on X are locked in, with one posting, Davis could be our next breakout star. He's already been getting reps with the starters, and the preseason opener against the Broncos could be his coming-out party. The 49ers' strategy is all about relentless pressure on quarterbacks, and Davis, alongside Jordan Elliott and rookies like Alfred Collins, could be the X factor we've been missing. But here's the risk. If he doesn't deliver, our defensive rotation could be exposed against mobile QBs like Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray. Compared to undrafted rookie Sebastian Valdez or recent addition Bruce Hector, Davis has the edge in experience, giving him a legit shot to lock down a roster spot for Week 1 against the Seahawks. Fans are buzzing. Davis has the tools. Time to show it, one tweeted, while another cautioned, he's got to stay healthy or it's all talk. The faithful are split. Some see him as the next big thing. Others want proof in the preseason. If Davis can channel his college tape, where he was a disruptive force, he could solidify our D-line and make life miserable for opposing offenses. But if he stalls, we're left scrambling for depth. And as we wait for his moment to shine, let's tie this all together. Faithful, we're on the edge of our seats for 2025. The O-line is chasing depth to keep Purdy safe, with Kendall Lamb as a potential game-changer. Swapping Apple for Dwumfor shows our defense is gearing up to dominate the trenches. McCaffrey's return is the rocket fuel for an explosive offense, and Kalia Davis could be the wild card that flips our season. After last year's heartbreak, this is our shot to storm back to the Super Bowl. Which stories got you hyped? Are we hoisting the Lombardi Trophy this year? Drop your hot takes in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to stay locked in.